Hello everyone, it is Makeover Monday and today my beautiful model is Ashley. Ashley is a teacher and she was a former Disney employee, so you better believe we're going to be talking about Disney as we do her makeup. We're going to do something really fun on her day and welcome those of you that are in the live chat. So we will go ahead and get right into it. Ashley has an amazing skin tone, so I think I'm gonna do bronzy colors to kind of complement her bronzy skin tone and her pretty hazel eyes. So we are doing, this is my beloved Hourglass palette. We're gonna do this bronzing shade. So this palette has highlighters, it has like a finishing powder, bronzer, and blush. So we're gonna go in with the bronzer for this palette and we're gonna do it on her eyes actually. I'm just taking a blending brush and I'm gonna do it all over her lid. She has a really nice lid space. So actually, before we went live, we did, I primed her lids and we did her eyebrows and we filmed a little before video. So later at the end, we'll flash that for you guys so you can see before any makeup was put on her face. And I also primed her skin. I exfoliated her and I put on a moisturizer. She has the best skin. We're all jealous. She already looks great. You probably don't wear too much makeup on a day-to-day, right?
I don't.
You don't need
I
it.
use a lot of powder and that's about it.
Perfect. Like a powder foundation?
Mm-hmm.
What one do you like?
I use CoverGirl mostly.
Oh, nice.
And I use like a little ELF blush and chapstick.
I love it. Well, you can get away with it. You lucky. That is awesome. Go ahead and just turn this way. Perfect. Okay, she told me before she started that she has some crazy Disney stories. Because you said you worked with cast members.
I did.
And then you did the rides in Fantasyland?
And
okay.
Toontown. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's so many stories of, different guests and things that have been told. Good things and bad things. But like I said before, when you work at Disneyland, it becomes your family because you spend so much time there with these people. I met my best friend there.
Aw, that's sweet.
So Disney's brought us together.
Aw, I feel like a certain type of people are drawn to Disney, like happy and cute like you. That's awesome. So your friend worked there as well?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. What did she do?
She worked with me in attractions.
So fun.
So we met there, and yeah, it's crazy the relationship we have now. She's more like my sister than anything.
Oh, I love that.
So it's really nice. Everyone has each other's backs, which is really nice.
That's so awesome. So you said you have crazy stories. Like, tell me one.
So one of them was my most memorable. It wasn't such a great experience, but,
oh, no.
Again, your friends that you work with, they really take care of you. So I was on Main Street one day, and I was hosting Minnie Mouse, and Minnie needed to go get some cheesecake. And so I had to stop the line and tell them that Minnie would be right back. And so when I did that, a gentleman who was next in line, a big gentleman, was with his daughter. And he didn't like the fact that I was taking Minnie away. So he said some choice words to me, which were not Disney friendly.
Oh my God.
And he actually used full force, 2 hands, and pushed me down to the ground.
He literally touched you?
He touched me. 2 hands on my shoulders.
Oh
in front of his daughter, in front of all the guests, in front of my character, and so
yikes.
Yeah, it was a physical experience, and
how scary for you.
Oh yeah, I think I was in most shock than anything.
Yeah.
But my Minnie helped me off the ground. She made sure that my line didn't go anywhere. She took me to the back, and that's where I found security, and security found the cameras, and they found him down towards the hub, and they actually escorted him out.
Oh my gosh, so they found him.
They found him.
So he went out. Did his family have to leave? Like
no,
he was there with other people in his family?
Mm-hmm. Luckily, his wife was down at the end, so the daughter got to stay with the mother. But he was escorted out, so.
How was he, like, when they got him, was he just kind of like, hopefully he felt stupid, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I was more in the back just dealing with the shock of it all.
Yeah.
But
because Disneyland seems like they take good care of you guys.
Like,
They
absolutely.
try to keep you guys safe and stuff like that.
Totally. I mean, they were completely on my side. They made sure I was taken care of. I had the nurse came and checked me to make sure, nothing was injured or anything like that. But I was fine. And, I just learned from the situation that there are those kind of people in this world. And unfortunately, I was the punching bag in that aspect. But
were you okay?
Yeah, I was fine. I think I was just in more shock of what just happened.
Right.
in the end, you know, everyone had my back, and I went right back out there a little bit later, and I was fine.
I love that Minnie cared for you.
Yes, she did.
Because you were caring for her. Like, you're there to kind of care for the characters, but then she's like, no, I got you.
I got you.
Don't mess with Ashley.
Yeah, exactly.
Aww.
But there's also some really good stories, too, that come out of working there. Like, I've met so many people just working, you know, characters, working attractions, especially attractions. I had a gentleman who came up to me, and I was at Gadget's Go Coaster. And he had told me that he remembered me. And I asked him from when, and he said I had made magic for him and his family on New Year's Eve. And this was a couple months later.
Aww.
And I was like, how do you remember me? He goes, I've been looking everywhere for you. I remember your name,
Aww.
everything. And I was like, wow. He goes, I just wanted to come and thank you for the magic you created for us. So
what did you do? Do you remember?
All I did was actually I took them, and I made sure, because they were having a pretty bad experience at another attraction, unfortunately.
Oh.
And I helped them get on the coaster. And then what I did is I sent them over to Roger Rabbit, and I got them on Roger, and they were just ecstatic. Luckily, Roger didn't have a very long line, so it was pretty easy to, you know, work some magic there. But they were so happy and so grateful. And, you know, it's those kind of people who make it all worth it.
Totally.
So just getting to interact with people on a daily basis, that's just who I am. You know, I'm a teacher now, so I interact with my students, and, you know, I take the same kind of things I learned at Disney with being kind, being compassionate, and I use that every day with my kids. And it makes a difference.
That's
it really
so
does.
Sweet. You're probably the best teacher. And you said second grade, right?
Second grade. They are my heart.
How sweet. You're like every parent's dream for a teacher. You're just sweet and caring, and
you know, even during this
great.
hard time, you know, I still keep in contact with my kids. I make sure that they're engaged. I make sure that they know I haven't gone anywhere and that I'm still there for them. So
kids that age love their teacher. Like, I just remember, it's like you idolize your teacher, you love them, like, you just mean so much to them, I'm sure.
I had one little one send me a picture yesterday, and it said that she missed me and that I'm the best teacher she's ever had, and she hopes that I'm her teacher forever.
So cute.
It's that kind of thing that just makes it all worth it.
How sweet. So do you teach second grade? Are you there, like, do you have one class kind of all day? Like, when I was in elementary, it was like half and half. Like, we had like our elective in the afternoon and our core teacher in the morning. Or are you with them the whole day?
I'm with them the whole day.
Okay, so
unless
you teach
they go
everything.
to like, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Unless they go to like a enrichment, or if they're at lunch or recess, then they're with me.
What's your favorite subject to teach?
I love social studies.
Oh, fun.
I'm a big history buff. I love, you know, interacting with the kids, talking about things that have happened.
Yeah.
One of the big things I like to tell them about is Titanic.
Ooh, that'd be a fun
So
one.
I have a whole bunch of different books that they love to just dive into. And so when I tell them, like, this actually happened, and I tell them the stories, and I explain to them that there's scientists that go in there now and they explore the ship, and it's still there. They just are mind blown. So they love studying the Titanic after we talk about it.
That's really cool. That's really fun.
I love showing them videos too of like the explorations, and they just get so into it. I love it.
That's awesome.
Doesn't even have to be from a textbook. I love showing them like artifacts and just getting them hands-on, getting them involved.
Oh, you're a fun teacher. That's awesome. Yeah, that would be fun to teach that age, because it's like that subject is kind of like stories and stuff, so they probably would be like really into
And then they're
it.
blown away that it actually happened.
Yeah. That's so funny. I know that is a crazy one for sure. So what's your least favorite subject?
My husband teaches math, but I would say I like teaching math when I can use different strategies. So the way that we're teaching now is actually really inventive. We focus a lot on like learning progressions, and we focus on what the kids really need to learn in order to learn certain standards.
Yeah.
So we tear apart those standards, and we go step by step with these kids.
Oh,
so it
that's
makes math a
awesome.
little easier, which
Oh,
is
that's
nice.
good.
So I don't really have one that I don't like at all. I like teaching all just as long as I'm teaching different ways.
Yeah.
You know, all kids are different, so they learn different. That's you know, I focus
true.
on like multiple intelligences and the different ways that the kids learn. So I try and tie things into our lessons. Like, I have kids that learn best with music, and I have kids that are very kinesthetic. So there might be a math lesson where we go outside and do jumping jacks, memorizing our addition facts, or, we play a song to help us memorize our multiplication. It's different for everything. So
that's good. So you
nice.
try to like hit every learning style.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Do you still teach cursive? I remember
I
learning
do.
cursive in second grade. You do?
Yes, I'm one of the only ones that does.
I thought it was fun.
I do. It's actually a California standard, so a lot of states got rid of it. But for me, I love teaching cursive.
Yeah, I thought it was so fun.
I love it.
Like art
I tell them too, I'm like, if you're ever going to be famous one day, you're going to need to sign your name.
You need a signature. That's really cute. I have a hard time reading cursive though. Like, I'm just slow at reading it. Like, my cute little grandma would write me long letters every year for my birthday, which I loved, but it would take me so long to read.
Some handwriting is better than others.
She had good handwriting. It was just, because that was how they wrote, because it was fast for them. So it was, like, more like, not shorthand, but just a little more scribbly, but still really pretty, but very small and tight. And that's why it was hard for me to read. I love it, though.
Like my favorite thing ever. So when I sometimes, try to do it with the kids,
yeah,
they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Just watch."
That's too cute. I love that you still do it. That's so awesome.
I do. They can go far with it too.
Yeah. Go ahead and look down. I'm gonna just kind of go line right under the. That's awesome. So me and my husband just got Disney passes a couple months ago. So we're newish Disney, and I'm not from here. So I only went to Disneyland once growing up, and it was
goodness.
Amazing because I have a big family. There's 7 kids. Go ahead and look down. So it was just a big deal to take us anywhere when there's that many. But
it's expensive these days, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was expensive, and it's just hard to find something that all the ages like to do.
Absolutely.
But we all liked Disney, so we did go once.
Aww.
But we're obsessed. We love to watch the YouTube videos on Disney secrets and stuff like that, and we love finding
That's my husband and I love doing that. We'll put on the rides just for my daughter. And she'll watch the Frozen ride from Disney World, and
that's really cute.
She'll watch all my attractions. So my favorite attraction to work in Fantasyland was my Casey Jr. train. So I would drive the train.
I haven't been on that one.
And every time she sees it now, she goes, "Oh, that's Mommy's train."
Oh, so cute. She's like, "That's so Mommy's
cute."
ride.
So we go to Disneyland. She goes, "I want to go on Mommy's train."
Gosh, close for me. That's the cutest ever.
She loves it. She loves Disneyland. We've been taking her since she was 9 months old. We waited a little bit because of, the warnings of, the viruses going around and just being ill and her touching everything, putting her hands in her mouth. And so we waited. We were going to wait till her first birthday. We're like, nope, can't wait that long. So we took her, and ever since, that little girl loves Disneyland.
So cute.
She loves the princesses, and she'll go to each princess and say, "Where's Cinderella? Where's Mermaid?" So whoever she's with, she's never really interested in, but then when she gets to the next one, she wants to see another princess.
Oh, so funny.
She's hilarious.
I'm glad. It's good to hear she still loves it, because we take our daughter all the time. So yours is 2, right?
She's 2 and a half. Reese.
Reese. Oh, so cute.
She's obsessed with Disneyland.
So cute.
Anytime we go into a parking structure, she's like, "Mommy, we're at Disneyland."
Oh,
even at the mall.
She just lives this magical life.
Does.
She's like, "We're at Disneyland." You're like, "No."
Oh,
no, sorry.
I felt so bad. I was like, well, we'll make it like Disneyland. So a friend of ours, he put his daughter in a little laundry basket and turned on the Disneyland ride on YouTube. And she was just sitting there, and he was making the basket move as if she was on the ride.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. So my husband, of course, would try the same thing. My daughter likes the Gadgets Go coaster. So she likes adventure. So we're waiting. We might go to Disney World this year. And she wants to go on the Slinky Dog ride.
Ooh, that's
so we're prepping her by watching the videos. But she's a little daredevil. She's not afraid.
She's not scared.
Not at all. And I'm so happy because she at least tries things.
Yeah.
And she's not completely scared of them.
That's good. Have you been to Disney World?
We have. We went for our honeymoon.
Aww.
It was beautiful and perfect.
Oh
and
my gosh.
we even told each other we can't wait to bring our daughter or our child.
So cute. Okay, go ahead and open and look this way for me. Perfect. Actually, just with your eyes. Yes. Good. I'm sure I feel like when my daughter, you can close now.
Okay.
I feel like when my daughter's older, we'll want to do Disney World too, when she can remember. Not even remember, but just kind of understand. I feel like 2 is a good age. Okay, go ahead and open, and with your eyes look this way. Good. down a little bit. Perfect. That's so fun. I just love everything about Disney.
Me
like, I
too.
love their app is so good.
Oh, I know.
It's so, like,
it just
you
got
never wait in
updated.
line. Did it?
Yeah, it's so nice.
Okay, keep looking. That's like good. I love the app. I love the rider swap when you have the baby.
Yes.
Like, that's so good.
And they just added some new fast passes to some attractions too that didn't have it before. Of course,
Oh.
now it's closed, but
Yeah. Well, now we can't go, but when it's
like they added
open.
one to Monsters Inc. over in California Adventure, so that I think that one needed it because that line got pretty long.
Yeah.
But
So fun. Oh my gosh. We're having Disneyland with Charles.
yes,
Please open again.
Please open.
Go ahead and close.
But I'm sure the cast members are enjoying their time too, and I don't blame them. They work so hard. My best friend, oh my gosh, she works so much. She works Monday through Friday, and this is my other best friend, and she actually works at Disney right now, and she's a lead, so it's funny because when we first met, I didn't really know her, and so she started seeing another friend of mine who then introduced us, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew you, and I worked with you. What happened? So our relationship kind of grew, and yeah, she's a lead now, and she does all kinds of things in Fantasyland. She does like
Aw.
guest interactions. She works parades. So she loves it.
That is so fun. That's really cool to know, like, all the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
there's a
make
lot.
friends that way.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved working at Disney. I had the best leads. I had the best friends, and yes, we worked long hours. Yes, we worked holidays, but in the end, it was so worth it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, there was one night where I was driving my train, and it was like 11:45 at night, so the park was just about to close, and no one was on my ride, but I was taking the train around. And at the very top of the hill, you can oversee the entire main street, and you can see all the lights and just see everything. And I thought to myself, wow, I have like the best job
Aw.
ever. I get to drive the train that Walt Disney drove and
That's
just
cool.
be here,
Yeah.
And it runs in the family too. My grandpa actually knew Walt Disney.
Really?
He did.
Oh my gosh.
He,
Look forward. Keep telling me, but I'm going to
He would have breakfast with Walt in the mornings at the Aunt Jemima Pancake House.
Oh my gosh.
He worked the attractions, and back then they really didn't specify a land that you were working in. So you were pretty much a jack of all trades.
So you kind of did everything
Around
around the park. Okay.
Mhm. So he opened the Nature's Wonderland mine train. And so he drove his train, and he is a part of the Red Handkerchief Committee. So he still meets with the people who are still alive.
What is the Red Handkerchief Committee?
The cast members who worked on that attraction.
Okay.
So he still has his handkerchief.
Oh,
He
how
has little
sweet.
memorabilia that's in his, he has like a little trunk with
Okay.
his stuff. So he tells
So
us so many
cute.
stories. And
Oh my
he was
gosh.
just telling me that Walt's just an amazing guy, and he had such imagination for everything. He made sure his cast members were taken care of. And it was, just hearing these stories is unbelievable.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
he worked for Disney in the beginning. Like, I think he started in, oh gosh, I don't even remember the year. In the very beginning. And then my aunt worked there. My dad worked there. I worked there.
Oh my gosh.
My husband worked there. My best friend works there. So it's a family thing.
Yeah, totally. Did you meet your husband there?
No, we actually were high school sweethearts. We met in high school.
You guys, oh my gosh, you just have this magical life. It's so cute.
We dated for 10 years, and then we got married. So this is going to be year 5 that we're married.
Aw, congrats,
So,
guys.
thank you,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah, high school sweethearts.
High
and
school sweethearts.
one of my other best friends, I met her in junior high, and we're still best friends
Oh
to
my
this day.
gosh.
So
I love that.
we have a history.
That's so good. I'm trying to think. I like keep in contact with some, more like high school friends, kind of. But it's like when you're friends that young and you stay friends, like it's their family. Like
My best friend, who
Look down for
actually we met in kindergarten. I think it was kindergarten. Yeah, he actually is one of my only guy best friends. But we were actually born one day apart.
oh my
And we
gosh.
found out that we were born in the same hospital,
Oh my
and
gosh.
we were in the same nursery together.
And then
So-
plot twist, you're actually siblings.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I'm just kidding.
But we became friends in kindergarten, and then we stayed friends. And I still talk to him to this day. We went to each other's weddings, and it's unbelievable. Like, We're not super, super close anymore because, I live a little bit further away now. But we still
Yeah.
keep in contact. We'll text each other once in a while. And
Cute.
yeah, he actually married one of my friends that I knew in dance class when I was
Oh my
little.
gosh.
So it was a small world.
It's totally small world. That's so fun. I'm going to check in with our live chat. I think we have some questions. We'll say hello. For those of you that are new, most of my videos are live streamed, so you can always hop in on the chat. I am live Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Oh, hi, Amy. She said, caught you live. I'm so excited. Oh, Ron says, that's my baby girl.
That's my dad.
Oh, hi, Ron. Oh, so cute. He's watching. Okay, Amy said, this might sound funny, but I love watching how gently you apply eyeshadow. Among other things, your model skin rarely even moves when you are doing it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm usually quite gentle. I don't know. You can tell me. Thank you. Nora, hi, Julie. You and your model are a bright spot in my day. Oh, thank you, Nora. Welcome. You're so sweet. Okay, Amy, what gel liner do you use on the top waterline? My experience is that they always leak onto the bottom waterline, even if they're waterproof. So on Ashley, I did the Bobbi Brown gel liner. It just comes in the little pot. It's this right here. And you are right. They do transfer, even if they're waterproof. You kind of can't get away from it. Go ahead and look down for me. Even when you do it, or especially when you do it in the water line like that, just because the eyes naturally have like wetness and oil, it's going to transfer. Marc Jacobs has some kohl pencils called highliners, and those still transfer too, but they're a little more matte. They wear well. So for me, how I handle the transferring, I kind of like it. Like sometimes, like when I'm still gonna be cleaning on her, so you'll actually see like on Ashley like how I kind of deal with it transferring and stuff. But I'll clean it up a little bit. But sometimes I like if it gives like a little bit of dark on the under eye because I feel like it gives kind of a shadow. But if you're talking about it kind of migrating under your eyes, go ahead and look kind of up for me. Like it has a little bit on Ashley. So what I'll do is I'm going to clean up under her eyes and then conceal that, and I'll set it with powder, and that will kind of prevent it from transferring. So hopefully that answered your question / helped. But yeah, anything you put in the water line, gel liner, pencil, powder, it's going to transfer. So you just kind of have to work with it. Okay, Melinda Clark, I worked at Disneyland too. I worked in Tomorrowland. Oh, that's so awesome.
Oh, I have friends that work there too.
Oh my gosh, how fun. I just love Disney. Okay, Brittany Ann. Oh, hi, Brittany. Has she ever been to Disney World?
Yes.
Yeah, she says she has. Okay, and this is a good question though. So which do you prefer and why? Disney World, Disneyland?
Oh man, they both have their pros and cons, but I think I like our home Disneyland better.
Okay.
Everything's more condensed.
It's a lot smaller, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you get more bang for your buck, I feel. I mean,
Okay.
Disney World, you have to pay a price for every park. And if you want to go, let's say, on the Frozen ride, you have to pay for Epcot. And if you want to go to Magic Kingdom and go to Be Our Guest for the restaurant, you have to pay that entry price to go to that park or spend more money on a park hopper. Where here at Disneyland, you pay one, unfortunately, not too cheap of a ticket.
Yeah.
But you at least get everything in one place. And California Adventure is literally right across the walkway. So, and plus, this is where Walt Disney was. Like,
Yeah.
this is where I have
Yeah.
history.
Look
And so, in my own opinion, Disneyland always has that special place in my heart. Disney World is gorgeous and beautiful and very spaced out. And they have really good programs there for kids. But again, Disneyland will always be my favorite.
It is very nostalgic. And when I watch the YouTube videos and I learn about it, it seems like every time they take an attraction down because it's just too old or not being used,
it's
they
heartbreaking.
leave, but it seems like they leave an item from it or something.
Yes,
like
they
they
do.
took Build-A-Bear down, that's not a ride, but then whatever restaurant it is, there's a little Build-A-Bear like hanging out in the rafters and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's cute.
They keep the little things that matter, which is nice.
Because I feel like that's people that are really into Disney. Like that's like kind of a reason you love it so much. It's like
It's that nostalgia. I
Yeah.
love it. That's one of the things I really love. They keep the things that matter the most.
so okay, but you still love Disney World, right? Because you're going. So for people who want to go on vacation to Disney World, which park? Like if they don't buy the all park, like which ones? Let's say they do. Are there 5? I don't remember how many there are.
There's Magic Kingdom. There's Animal Kingdom. There's Epcot. Hollywood Studios.
Oh dang.
I might be missing one, but those are the ones we usually go to. And there's the
Okay.
water parks, too.
So which are, like, top 2 or 3? What should, like, they go to?
Epcot,
like, you have to
definitely. It's not really for kids, though. It's more for adults, and especially during the food and wine. It's awesome.
Okay.
It's so nice. Kids can go, but I would say probably a little older. Like, we're taking my daughter, who's going to be 2.5. So she can do things, but not everything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's more for adults.
More for adults where, like, she'll be too short to go on the rides, or just it's not
Just
as,
interest,
like, fun?
interest
Okay.
levels.
Okay.
Magic Kingdom, again, is really good for kids. That's just like a Disneyland version. Just everything's really spread out.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic
so,
Kingdom.
Okay, so it's just like a bigger Disneyland. Okay.
Hollywood Studios is a lot of fun. It's more for the older crowd, except they just built Toy Story Land, so that one, you know, that's geared toward the little kids too. So they're adding little things here and there, more for the kids. I would say Animal Kingdom's really nice for families.
Is it like a zoo? Do they have
A little
zoo?
bit, yeah.
I
It's
haven't
pretty
been.
much like a zoo.
Okay.
There's more rides for adults than the kids. They're just not tall enough, and their interest levels it would probably
slightly.
scare them a little bit.
Okay.
So I'd say Magic Kingdom's the most kid-friendly out of them all.
Okay. Good to know.
Worth the money, though. But
So
don't go
fun.
during the summer. It's miserable.
Because it's so
It's
humid and
hot.
hot. Yeah, Florida.
Oh, we went in July when I was
my
little.
gosh.
It was miserable. We had to stay in our hotel because of a tornado. Oh, yeah. So we came out the next morning, and the whole pool was destroyed, and all the chairs were everywhere.
So like a bad tornado. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
like
came
saw
right
this tornado.
through.
Oh my gosh. Were you so scared?
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't have tornadoes here.
And there were no basements, so we had to hunker down in our rooms and go to the back part of the room, hide in the tub. Oh, yeah.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was when we went with my family, and I was like 8 or 9. But we went, I think it was October. Yeah, it was October when we went for our honeymoon. And it was like the perfect time. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too humid. Of course, you're going to get humidity whenever, but it wasn't as bad as the summer. Summer is just literally you walk out of your hotel room and you just need to go take a shower. It's that bad.
Yeah, when you're
So.
not used to it. Because in California, we're like more dry. I mean,
Yeah,
right by the
exactly.
beach and stuff, it's more humid, but it's still not like Florida humid. Like,
No, Florida humid's a whole nother ball game. That's for
Yes.
sure. We're very lucky here in California.
Yes. Great skin though if you live in Florida. Anywhere with
Oh, yeah.
humidity, the people do not age. My grandparents lived in Florida. Well, my grandpa, he was from Boston,
Oh, okay.
like Rhode Island, Boston area, but it's so cold there. So in the winter he'd live in Florida, and then in the summer he'd live in Boston.
Oh,
so we'd always
wow.
go visit him in
Oh,
Florida,
nice.
and it was so beautiful.
My husband's dad is actually from Boston.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Massachusetts, East Coast.
Is he really mad Tom Brady left the Patriots?
Oh, he is a huge Patriots fan. Huge. Oh, yes. When that game's on, don't bother him.
My brother, he lives in Idaho now with his family, but they lived in Boston because he's an accountant and he worked for one of the firms there. And they are just the world's biggest Patriots fan.
Oh, yes.
But it's like the whole community is. They just get so
Everybody
into
is.
it.
And you know what? To see my mother-in-law and my father-in-law's passion for it, it's nice because they just, you know, we're a Green Bay Packers family, my husband and I. So when we go over there was one time I had spilled something on my pants and she gave me some PJ pants to wear and they were Patriots.
Oh my gosh.
My husband goes, no,
She can't
never.
wear these.
Take them off.
Take
no.
'em off.
It was funny. But my best friend, her and her husband are big Patriots fans too.
Okay.
So we're surrounded.
You can't get away from it.
No.
Okay, so I'm just using my NARS foundation on her. So I mixed 2. So we did Patagonia and then so that's medium 1.2 and medium 3.5. So I mixed them. I did 2 squirts of the lighter and 1 squirt of the medium just to get a match. And then on the forehead, I did just the pure darker one. And I feel like I'm still leaving it a contour because that was a little bit like, you have like, not only does Ashley have good skin, but she has like a natural contour. Like, you just naturally have like, the contoured forehead. All right, so I'm just using like a disposable makeup sponge. This is similar to a beauty blender. It's a wedge, so you can buy these in like a big block, and you can just use one of them and then throw it away when you're done with your client. They're not, the shape isn't as great as like a beauty blender, the little sponge, and the texture is probably like a little bit stiffer, but they still work pretty great. So that is what I'm using on Ashley today. So I'm gonna do some highlighting, and then I think we're gonna cream contour on Ashley today. Why not? We'll go Glam. It will be fun. Okay, let's check into our live chat. Timeless Beauty Studios by Jacqueline. Hello. Hi, ladies. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is good. Snowing today here in Canada. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
It's raining here in California. We're like complaining, like we're sad, but you have the snow. That's so crazy. Okay, Kelly says, does Disney really have an underground jail and a basketball court? I haven't heard the basketball court at the top of Matterhorn.
So there is a basketball court.
Really?
It's a little tiny half court.
Oh my gosh.
But that was put there for the cast members who were on break. They could go up and shoot some hoops. I'm not really sure about the Disneyland jail. I know that's one thing that people wonder about.
Yeah.
Security does their own thing, but I have some friends in security, so I don't know if they can answer that. But
We'll have to have them on. If any of them want a makeover.
Yeah, there you go.
They can come and they can talk about Disney jail. Have you seen the interview with Blake Lively?
I haven't.
The girl from Gossip. Did you ever watch Gossip Girl?
Mm-hmm.
So, but she said she went to Disney jail.
Really?
Yeah, because she said her and her brother tried to like sneak into the park and they got caught.
You know, I don't put it past it. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere that they keep people that they need to talk to. And
Right.
Because you know what? So many things happen that a lot of people don't realize. And Disney's so good at making sure that no panic happens.
Yes.
And that they take care of it right away and you don't even notice. So that's another thing I give props to my security cast member friends. You guys are slick.
Yeah, they seem like they do a great job because you would never know. Like
You would
I've
never
been there,
know.
and it's like I'm sure stuff has happened, and
Oh, yeah.
you would never know. They handle it like really well.
There's so many different procedures you have to know in order to basically protect the people who are in the parks.
Yeah,
So even as attractions and characters, you have to look for things. You're constantly scanning, just making sure your guests are safe.
looking for when you constantly look for things, it's like behaviors of certain people that you're looking for.
Mhm.
Like what do they tell you to look for?
Some things that we usually look for were just people who are, well, I mean, you don't want to like stereotype or anything,
Yeah.
but if they're acting a little bit different, they're not, you know, sometimes people would go and they'd have black backpacks or they'd have just a bag
Okay.
and they would leave them places. If we found a bag or something like that and we noticed that it was left by itself, you know, we would call security and make sure it was taken care of. But again, you wouldn't cause panic. You wouldn't cause anyone to worry. You would just stand by the backpack, make sure that no one comes near it, and wait for security to get there.
Similar to like an airport, like you
Pretty
can't
much.
leave your bags unattended and stuff.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
And you know, there may just be diapers or there might
Right.
be, you know, snacks in someone's backpack. But, you know, to take the precautions and make sure everyone's safe, that's what really matters.
That's good. Did you ever have any other sort of run-ins with visitors?
You know, people were pretty good. Of course, you get
Good.
the most, well, you get the ones that are angry that, you know, they can't see their characters, or they're angry that you broke down the ride.
Oh.
I'm like, no, actually, it's raining outside. You can't go on a roller coaster. That's a gravity coaster when it's raining.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different rides that have to close if it's raining. Just because, like the teacups, they can't run in the rain.
I've
Because of
noticed
the-
that there, yeah.
The plates that they're sitting on, they can actually get damaged. And Alice closes in the rain, and, you know, there's certain ones. But again, it's for everyone's safety, and that's what matters. That was one of the 4 keys that we always talked about, was safety.
That's good. Yeah, it's like nice to go when it rains because it's like not as crowded, but then there's like less rides you can go on. So.
But you know, sometimes we don't even go for the rides. My husband and I sometimes will go on a date night. Grammy will watch Reese, and we'll go and just enjoy ourselves. You know, go have a drink and go, you know, go on some rides, go walk around. We like to people watch.
So fun. Who doesn't? Have you ever done all the rides in Disneyland? So not both parks, but all the rides in one day. That's like the dream for me and my husband. We want
I
to
don't
do
think
it in
I don't
one
think
day.
I've ever done all of them.
Okay.
I might have. You know, we used, oh my gosh, my friend Bianca, my husband and I, we've all 3 of us been best friends for a long time. And we used to go in high school. We'd go from opening to closing.
Oh my gosh.
And we would be so sunburned. We'd be so tired. We'd be there from 8 in the morning until midnight. And we might have done all the rides.
Yes. We want to do it. My husband wants to film a YouTube video and do every single ride in one day because we always debate if it's possible.
It's possible.
Like, I think it is.
If
There's
you have
a lot
the
of
fast
them.
passes, I think you can do it.
That's
The
true.
Max Pass. That's worth it too with the little ones.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So worth it.
That is the best. Okay, I'm going to contour her now with cream contour. We're going to start on the forehead, and then we'll do the cheeks and the nose. Is your lash curl a Kevin Aucoin? Yes, it is. It's this one. I love the Kevin Aucoin. I'll link it for you guys, but it works really great. It's what I always use. Let's see. Oh, Ron says you performed at both parks.
I did.
You did?
I love how my dad's reminding me of things.
Thanks, Ron, for hanging. Yeah, what did you do?
I was actually in color guard and choir in high school.
Oh my gosh.
And we actually performed at Disneyland every year. So I performed in California Adventure for choir, and I've performed at Disneyland for choir, back when it used to be the old stage before they had the princess shows. And then I performed in the parades for color guard. So that was a lot of fun.
I love that they do that with like the local high school. Well, where did you go to high school?
In Chino. I went to Chino
okay.
High, yeah.
Yeah, I love that they do that because that's a fun experience.
It was great. That was like highlight of the year. I was in the varsity team for color guard, so we traveled across the country.
Okay.
And so we would go to like Dayton, Ohio, for championships, and we went to Florida. So we actually performed at Walt Disney World. So yeah, I performed there too.
Oh my gosh.
So been to all the Disney parks in the country. Now I want to venture out once all this craziness is over, and I want to go to Disney Paris, Shanghai.
Best castle is Disney Paris, right?
Yes.
Like, it's so pretty.
I watched that new special on the Disney Plus app of the Imagineering. Have you seen that series yet?
I have not watched it yet, but I probably should, right?
So good. They go into detail about like all the castles and like all the behind the scenes on how they build the parks, when they built the parks, and
I would love it.
all kinds of different like historical images. It's really great.
That's cool.
That's one show, if you're a Disney buff,
that I would like.
That you would love.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
It's really good.
I watched part of the one they had at Christmas with how they do all the Christmas decor and takedown. Yeah.
Yes.
And they
you would love this.
Yeah, I would like it. It's crazy what they do. I love detail stuff.
Me too. And it's the little things I notice too. Like there's a tree over by Indiana Jones. There's like a little hut or like a little house built into the tree.
Yeah, the little fairy hut.
It was so cute.
It. Yeah, it's the cutest.
I love finding little things like that. Like my grandpa's train is actually still there.
Aww.
They actually have it kind of like, it's all old and messed up, but it's hiding on the side. So if you go on the Mark Twain and you come towards the end, you can see the train still on the track.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my grandpa hasn't been there.
That's special.
I think he hasn't been there since 93 or something like that.
Wow.
So he hasn't seen any of that yet.
That's really cool. How cool for your daughter, too, when she gets old enough to, like, understand stuff
we have
like
stories. We have so many
cool.
stories. Just to know that, you know, my grandpa knew Walt Disney and talked to him every day and had breakfast with him, you know.
Yeah.
He heard the stories and it was crazy.
That so much. My mother-in-law, so my husband's mom, her mom was a dancer in like old Hollywood and stuff like that. And so she has a lot of cool stories of like that kind of time period and stuff like that. Like her mom knew the owner. You know the Chinese theater where the handprints are? Like on Hollywood, the theater where all the like handprints and the signatures are. The guy that owned that like knew, so I guess my daughter's great grandma, and he gave her like a ruby ring, so she wants to like give it to my daughter. I'm like, oh, that's so cool,
so special,
so awesome. Like a cool story because it has like a story, like that's why it's cool.
Wow.
But she'll tell me like my mother-in-law says she's not a dancer, and she's like both her parents are, but she's not. But she still did like she danced in a Beach Boys video and stuff. Yeah, she's so cute. Cool. I'm gonna have her on. I'm gonna have her on and do her makeup, and I'm gonna have her tell all her awesome stories because she's like she's literally the sweetest person.
That's amazing. I love hearing stories from grandparents. It's just, you know, I taught my students too that, you know, our ancestors have so many different stories that really happened in our lifetime, and they're just so blown away.
I know, it's just funny because if you don't live it, it just seems like, did that happen? Or it just makes you feel like they're old or something. Like, what?
Like one day we'll tell our kids, well, our grandkids about what happened with us.
About coronavirus. Yeah. I know, it's crazy. So I'm just going to contour her nose a little bit. I usually like a smaller brush than this, but I don't. I pulled it for my kid. I don't have it right now. So we're just going to really, really lightly do it. You just want to get a really straight line. Okay, I'm going to check in on the comments. I do this. Okay, what powder do you use to set under eyes for women with loose skin or wrinkles or fine lines? So I will show you. I haven't set her under eyes yet, but I like most powders that I've tried for under eyes, as long as you just set it very, very, very lightly. So I'll show you the technique that I like to use when I set hers. And sometimes I like to set it like immediately. Like I'll set it right after I put on the under eye concealer. I didn't with Ashley, but that is a good tip to prevent it. Anything, and you mentioned loose skin too. So anytime you have sort of like bags under your eyes or loose skin, any makeup is just going to add texture. Like it just is. There's no way around it. So your best bet for working with under eyes is just to do as thin of a layer as possible. Ashley doesn't really, you don't have any bags and you don't have wrinkles. So I could apply a little bit more to her. So I kind of like, I put on 2 layers of foundation to give her a little bit more full coverage, and I did some highlighting under her eye. And I didn't have to be too careful to keep it really thin with Ashley, but I do recommend that if you have fine lines or you have loose skin or anything like that, keep your layer of concealer very, very thin, and that will actually help your powder with setting it well too. Julie, noticed you using a disposable sponge today, not the beauty blender. Very good idea right now. Yeah, the disposable sponges are very, very hygienic, so you just toss them. Is the NARS foundation full or medium coverage? It is, I would say it is medium to full, but more of like a medium full, like in the higher range. So if you were to do 1 layer of it, which I do on a lot of my models, it's more, it covers a lot, basically is what I'm saying, but you can put it on pretty thin, and sometimes with just 1 layer you'll see things peeking through, but if you do 2 layers it's very full coverage. But if you're more of like a sheer to medium person, it would feel full coverage, but it's pretty thin. Like even you only wear powders. Do you feel like you have a lot on your face right now? Yeah, that's what everyone says, is it like for how full of a coverage is, it's like a very liquidy thin, so it doesn't feel super heavy. Her concealer highlight looks great. Is that NARS? What color? So today, no. So I used Tarte Shape Tape on her. This one is Tarte Shape Tape, very full coverage concealer. And I love it for under the eyes, but sometimes when I'm working with eyes where I don't want to enhance the texture, I'll use my NARS, which I use a lot. But on Ashley, I just used Tarte Shape Tape, and I used the light neutral. That was the only shade. Did I mix? Okay, I used the light neutral, and I think I put in a dot of light sand. These are both neutral. They might have like a little bit of a warmer undertone. It says on there, when you buy their concealers, they'll list the undertones, but yeah, mostly light neutral, a teeny bit of light sand to brighten it up. And this is actually what I primed her eyes with too. So this one's the light neutral. This one's the light sand. On her, the light sand would be like very white, and I kind of like it to blend in. So that is what I did. So we're gonna go ahead and set it with some powder. So we'll talk about setting the under eyes right now. So this is our CMA No Color palette. You can get this from your makeup supply store and then also Amazon. I actually get it from Amazon. And then I really like to use like a flat brush, and I'll just put a little bit on the brush and I'll tap it off and get like the excess off so it's minimal. And then I'm gonna have her look up. Actually, before I set it, this is a really good thing to do. Sometimes I'll take my same concealer brush and I'll just rebuff it in. The Tarte concealer, it's semi self-setting. Like sometimes you don't need to use powder on top of it because it has like a bit of a matte finish. But if it settles into any lines at all, I rebuff it and then I apply my powder. And I'm just really, really lightly gonna press onto the skin. And at this point, I don't have much on my brush, but I do, like most people, just because of your eye shape, they'll have like a little line there. And that's where product tends to settle. And I set the whole area. Do you get oily at all?
Yes.
Okay. I do. You do? Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna do some good setting on Ashley then, since she gets oily. Like T-zone or everywhere?
Mm-hmm. T-zone mostly.
Okay. So T-zone, we're gonna set her. Everyone tends to get like a little shiny in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we'll do some blush. All right, so let's contour a little bit more. So now that that is on, I'm gonna go back into my same powder, RCMA No Color powder. I'm gonna use a little bit bigger of a brush, and same thing, like tap off the excess. And then I'm just lightly gonna just go over more of her face, because now I'm gonna add in the powders. And generally, you want to set your liquids or your creams with powder before you put additional powder on top. So this is a no color palette. It's not gonna, or powder, it's not gonna add any color. So then I'm gonna go in with the Hoola bronzer. And this I really love as a bronzy contour. So I'm gonna add this as well. You can sometimes, like if Ashley wasn't oily, she was more normal or even more dry, sometimes I don't set everywhere with the no color. I'll just go in with the bronzer, and this powder will actually act as my setting powder. But you have to be careful because it will tend to go on a little bit more splotchy if you do that. Or it won't go on splotchy. It can go on splotchy. You just have to watch out. So I contoured her jaw a little bit, but I'm using minimal product. I don't love a really heavy jaw contour in person. Sorry, I bumped you with my palette. I feel like it can be noticeable. When you see people doing like a really, really heavy jaw contour, it's usually in a video, or it's because they're gonna take a picture, and that is like 2D, not 3D, so it's gonna look great. But in real life, it doesn't translate. I remember like a couple years ago when nose contours were like the thing.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, when you see them, I contoured your nose. You can still do it. People still do it. But when it was like really intense, like give yourself a new nose, like it just didn't translate in person. Like it just didn't.
People just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the trickiest one, I feel like, to get to look good in real life. Okay, So now that that is on, we're going to go back to the Hourglass palette. So this bronzing color, the same color that we did on her eyes, I'm going to do on her face as well. So actually, let's use that same brush. So I'm just going to do this on her forehead. This has like a little bit of a shimmer, and it's more sheer. So I will do this on her forehead to add a little bit of glow, and then I'm gonna do it slightly above the contour that we just did to give it a warm bronzy glow. So I'm not contouring with this, now I'm bronzing, essentially. Okay, so pretty. And we're gonna go back to the eyes, and we're gonna do some more eye work before we do the lips, but for now we'll finish the face. Okay, and we'll do the blush from the same palette. So the Ghost palette has, and I'll link it for you guys. I've gotten much better at linking my products because you guys are sad, sometimes mad when I don't link them. I'm sorry. Okay, so this has a blush, and it has like a sheer blush, like a glow. And I usually just mix them both. And it's a nice, like a rosy tone. But they both definitely have a sheen to them, which I really, really like. I love blush. Like I love a good blush. But I know not everybody does, and you really want to go in like with a light hand at first. I love this color. It's really pretty. It just has the prettiest glow. It's like just like an illuminating blush. And it works like the rosy tone. It just works really well with like a lot of looks. Like I find myself almost primarily, if I'm not using a cream blush lately, I almost always just use this. I have one MAC blush that's called Melba. I really like that one too. And I feel like these two I could just do anything with. Okay, go ahead and look forward. So I do like it on the apples, but I like it slightly above the apples. And I like to just keep layering my blush. It's better than going in and getting a big blob of blush. And I go in with like swirly motions, like even before I touch her face. So I'll kind of go in like this, and then it's just like flicking her face. But that helps diffuse it. So instead of like, I'll turn it around when there's nothing. Instead of like plopping on my blush and then trying to blend it, it is not going to happen because I already have my liquid foundation. I already have powder. Like you can't blend anymore. Like the time to blend is over. Like you'll just end up like lifting the foundation and putting texture if you plop and then try to blend. Like you have to blend as you go. Let's see. Oh, Cynthia. Oh, Tammykin says your model today is beautiful. She is.
Aw, thank you.
Ashley. Cynthia says very pretty. Love the highlights you're giving her. I love highlighting. And Amy says so beautiful. Kelly says I heard Disney has the best security for when kids get lost.
Yes.
What's the procedures they take to make it so good?
So actually, it's not just security for that. It's every cast member, for that matter.
Okay.
We're all trained that if you see a child who is standing by themselves or a child comes up to you and you are able to help them, what you do is you stay with the child and you get a hold of a phone call, you get a hold of a phone or you find a security guard that's walking around, and then we will work together to find the parent. More than likely, the parent is in the same general area and the
Looking
kid
for the child.
Right, and the kid has basically just wandered away. So as long as you stay in the same area where you found the child, you're more than likely to find the parent. And if not, that's when you would find the security, and the security would help find the parent. So all cast members are trained to know and keep an eye out for kids who are by themselves. If you see someone who's by themselves, a child, basically you just ask them if they're okay and try and keep them calm. You know, I would always keep Disneyland stickers with me just to,
Sweet.
not to freak them out, and basically just stay with them. And if worse comes to worse, security will take them to City Hall and they will contact the parent through there. But everyone's trained. If you see someone, you talk to them and you basically just comfort them until their help arrives.
That's so good. That's the way to do it because there's so many of you guys. There's so many cast members.
There's eyes everywhere.
That's so good. So this is, we did more of the Hourglass palette. So I then went on to highlight with every highlighting shade in here. There is 3. 2 of them are just more like illuminating powders. In fact, I'll read you what they are. They're finishing powders. One's called dim light, one's called diffuse light. So the finishing powder, you can almost apply all over the face. It's not so much a highlighter. It's just like an illuminating powder. So I use that in a lot of places. And then they do have a specific highlighter. It's the iridescent strobe light. It's like this kind of pinky toned one. So that I really did here. I like to do above the brows and the chin a little bit, and I'll get into the nose. And then I am adding, this is Becca. This is the Champagne Pop. This is probably their best-selling highlighter. It's a golden champagne color. I love it on every skin tone unless you are very, very fair or don't like any warmth in your products. And then I like, they have Moonstone, and I think they have one called Pearl. Anyways, it's very pretty. Okay, and then for her nose, when I contour the nose, I always highlight the nose. So we're going to use the Omrizi palette and just a teeny cute little brush. This is by Anastasia. So the Omrizi palette only comes in one color, and it's like a lighter version of Champagne Pop, I would say. You just want a little line straight down the bridge and then a little bit on the tip. I don't do a whole big line. I like to leave this area blank because otherwise it just gives the nose the shape you don't want. Essentially, makes the bridge long. Okay, and then the eyes are looking good. I'm gonna highlight the inner corner, and then we're gonna work more on the eyes. We're gonna do some more smokiness. That will be so pretty. Your eyes are so pretty, Ashley.
Thank you. Get it from my dad.
Oh, thanks, Dad. He's watching.
He is.
Thank you.
Yeah, my husband has sky blue eyes. I have hazel, so my daughter has a mix of both.
Pretty.
So she's got gorgeous eyes.
Oh my gosh, lucky little thing. What color hair does she have?
She's blonde.
Oh, cute.
She gets that from both of us. We were both blonde when we were babies,
Okay.
but my hair got darker as I got older, and then my husband still has like a dirty blonde, so I have a feeling she might get a little darker once she gets older, but
yeah,
it's still pretty. She's got like natural highlights like I do, so I'm glad she's got those.
Yeah, that's so cute. Her light little eyes.
She's finally growing hair now, so I'm happy.
That's how my
Can
little
actually put
sister was.
ponytails.
So when she was 1, what was her hair like?
Hardly any. It was so cute. I was actually just looking at
Aw.
some of my memories today, and there was a picture of her waiting for the ice cream man, and she had like barely any hair at all.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
it's grown so much in a year.
So cute. My daughter said she has hair, and the back is like longer and stuff, but it's
That's
not...
where it started with Reese too, right
Really?
in the back. She
Yeah.
got the whole back, and I'm like, okay, what about the sides?
I do little ponies on her, like little ponytails, but kind of right here, she has hair, but it's all like
That's her
not even half an
hairs.
inch. Yeah, like this whole
Aw.
area is like not short, or it's not there, but I just think it's so cute.
Those are their baby hairs.
Yes, like I feel like those are advanced
Aw.
hairs. Like she's not gonna get those. Like, that's like when you're really doing it. Okay. Oh, I just stabbed my palette. So sad. Okay. So I'm going to work on her eyes a little bit, but because I've done the concealer, I'm just gonna hold a tissue under her eyes. And we're gonna go in, this is like a very dark matte brown. It's completely neutral. Yeah, you can stay close. So I'm just gonna put this tissue right under her lashes, and I'm gonna smoke out her lash line. And this, I love doing this. This gives a lot of drama to the eyes, but it's like a very diffused smokiness. It's very pretty. You don't need to do too much. It's very pretty. So I'm going to do that, and then also I'm going to go back in with my angled brush that I did the liner with, and I'm going to, you can stay close, I'm going to go in and do a matte black. So that was a matte brown that I smoked with, or that I did, I don't smoke, but that I smoked the liner with, and then I'm just going to go over and do a thin little line again of black. So this is my same angled brush that I did the liner. So I did the gel liner black, and then I set it with a matte black, and this is the brush that I set it with. And this is a Viseart shadow, so that's that palette that I use a lot. Okay, so now we're gonna do, actually while I'm on this eye, I'll stay on this eye. So I'm gonna grab like a little blending brush and go into that really dark brown and just buff out her corner a little bit. And I did apply a little bit of product to the brush, but not much. You don't want to get a lot of color here, or it'll be hard to fix. When you get into your detail work at the end, go ahead and turn a little bit more towards me. I'll kind of face her forward so you can see. So you can see this eye just has kind of like a smokiness. Go ahead and open. And when she opens, it's a little more intense. And then we're gonna curl the lashes, add mascara, and intensify it that way, and do some stuff underneath too. Go ahead and close. But this is just detail work at this point. So when you get into your detail work, you really want to be careful and don't apply too much product. Don't back yourself into a corner where you just kind of lay on a big blob and you now have to blend it, because it's very tricky. And a lot of times I'll do this before I move on to the foundation. Then you don't have to hold up the tissue, especially if you're doing it on yourself. But sometimes, like, I wasn't sure how much contouring I wanted to do on Ashley. So sometimes I like to see sort of the face transform, like see what I'm doing and then step back and add more or don't add more. Okay, so before I add on the black, I'm gonna do my buffing. So I'm just lightly dipping the very tip of this brush into that dark brown and just buffing the edge again, and then I'm going to bring it into the outer V. And sometimes I'll add a little bit the inner corner too. Okay, and then let's go in. So this is our black, our little angle brush. I'm going to fold my tissue. Okay, let's do, before we curl her lashes, let's add a little bit of bronzer under her eyes, and maybe even a little powder. Okay, so same Hourglass palette. We're gonna go back to this bronzer. So we've used this bronzer two times already. Eyes, face, now we're gonna go under her eyes with it. So I'm gonna go into that this cute little brush that I highlighted her nose with. Go ahead and look up. I wiped off the highlighter and now I'm doing this bronzer under her eyes. And I might need to hold my tissue. And if you get a lot of transferring under your eyes, I'll show you how I fix it. Okay, so we're gonna go back into like our dark brown color. Go ahead and look up. And I'm just gonna do it in the waterline. Or I'm sorry, not the waterline. I'm doing it right in between my little, her little eyelashes. Just this dark brown. Go ahead and tilt your face down slightly and keep looking up. Perfect. So I'm just touching where her little lashes come out. They're actually not little, they're quite long. Very pretty. And then I'm going to take my shader brush and go in with like a medium brown and just wiggle. I want to diffuse that line that I just did. I don't want any lines. For this look, we're very diffused, we're very smoky. I don't want any lines. Okay. Let's again curl the lashes, add our mascara, and then I'll clean up under the eyes so you guys can see. Does that pinch at all? No. Okay. I love like a good curl. It makes like a night and day difference. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
My eyes just
I know.
water.
I know. It's so weird. You can close if you need to for a second before I move on. I'll actually clean up under your eyes while you stay closed.
Okay. Is it normal for a lot of people to have watery eyes when they do makeup?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when somebody else does your eyes. It is totally natural because I think it's just like our eyes' defense system. They're like, please get away from me, excuse me. I didn't sign up for this. Okay, good. Open. They feeling a little better? Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe I'll clean up under your eyes, then I'll curl you again, and then I'll, okay, before I do the mascara. So look up for me. It's actually a good time for them to water because I kind of wanted to clean you a little bit. So this is just the makeup remover wipe. So if we're still getting a little bit of transfer, and somebody asked about this earlier, it's like the gel liner, like on most people you don't get any transfer, you can set it and it's great, but some people's eye shapes, like it just is gonna transfer a little bit. So what I'll do is just at the end, like I'll kind of keep an eye on it and then I'll just remove it with a makeup wipe. Like I'm not taking off her entire under eye area, just the problem areas, and then I'll show you how I like to blend it. Because it just turns that under eye area gray is what will happen, and you don't want that. So I took it off. Now I'm going in with my concealer brush. Nothing is on this, and I'm just sort of picking up that makeup remover product and just wiping things around. And then I'm gonna, once this dries and sets, I'm gonna add more concealer. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that dries. If you have any questions, now's a good time to drop them. Okay, Melinda says, I use a water blush from Danielle Sander. I'll have to look that up. A water blush would be amazing. Cynthia says, wow, smoky eyes looks great. Yeah, she's pretty eyes. Oh, hi, Nikki. Nikki says, hi, Julie. Missed your lives for a while. Sorry about that. Oh, no worries. I work in NHS as a qualified nurse in the UK. Oh, my gosh. So you guys are, yeah, wow. Covering a lot of shifts off to work now. Take care and stay safe. Thank you, Nikki. You take care and stay safe as well. It's a crazy time to be a nurse. We're so grateful for our nurses. Amy says, wow, that's awesome. Oh, and Cynthia says, thank you, Nikki. We appreciate you so much. Yeah, thank you. Oh, and Nikki said, beautiful already, and thank you all. You're a beautiful XOX. Before she left, she had to go to work. Jacqueline said, God bless all our health workers. Yes, absolutely. Cynthia, I joined late. Are those her lashes, or did you add lashes? Beautiful and very natural. Yeah, these lashes, so I added lashes. So these, I just buy them in a box. I think it's 9. It's 6 or 9. These are from Amazon. They are the style 747S, and the S means short. So this style of lashes, they're round and they're very, very natural. And you can get them, they come in many different brands, but that 747 number is the style. I'll link those ones. I really like those. I think Red Cherry makes 747s. Ardell even might make 747. And then that, I think that brand is called Cherish Look. I actually don't, like, I'll get them from any brand. They're the exact same. I just get them in a pack. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some squeezes. We'll let you have a blinking break in between my squeezing because I really like these to be curled. These lashes, these 747s, they're so natural that I feel like you really do need to give them a nice curl. Otherwise, they don't really look like you're wearing anything. Does that pinch at all?
No.
Okay. You didn't water this time. You
I'm
did
good.
great. You did awesome. So the 747s, they come in XS, like extra short, short, medium, and long. I love the short. I love the extra short for like my grandmas of the bride, like when I do wedding, like when they don't wear a lot of makeup, but you want their eyes to pop. They're very short, but they're so pretty, and they look like lashes. The short I love, like that's what Ashley's wearing, and they just look really natural, and I can add little individual lashes if I want. So that's like my size that I get. If you don't want to add other lashes, the mediums are pretty too. But the longs, I bought a pack of the longs, and they are so long, like really long. So unless you like, I don't know. Because when my lashes are really, really long, I like a thick, like I'll do, go ahead and look down for me. I'll do like a mink lash or something. So I didn't love the longs, but I loved all the other sizes. But shorter are my favorite. I'll link them. I think they're in my Amazon favorites. I always add that to my description box, but I'll link these ones today. I've been using them a lot and I really like them. And unless I'm doing like a faux mink lash, I don't use the real mink, but I'll use the faux. I always do mascara after. Even sometimes with the faux mink, I'll do or like the silk lashes, I'll do it after. But okay, go ahead and look forward. Very good. Look up for me. I'm gonna get your bottom lashes. Okay, so let's go back to her under eye. So you'll remember I just removed the under eye concealer because I was getting a lot of transferring, and it actually looks good. It looks fine. Like if you remove it the right way and you don't just do a big swipe and make kind of a spot, sometimes you can just be done and it's not going to transfer as much without concealer. But if I do add concealer, I just go back in and I apply a little bit more to my brush. Look up for me. And then this buffing brush just does a really great job. You can apply it, and I'm even applying over powder right now, which sometimes gives you a lot of texture, but I feel like with this brush I can get away with doing that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna re-powder. So I'm gonna go back to my flat brush and add a little bit more powder. Okay, look forward. Good. Very pretty, Ashley. Okay, let's do some lipstick. Let's do like a warm brown. We'll do Spirit by MAC, and then I'm gonna mix, never mind. I was gonna mix it with the second color, but I don't have it. I'm gonna do like an ombre lip on her. I'm gonna do Spirit, and then I'm gonna mix a little bit of Myth in the middle. That would be very pretty. Cynthia says, love how natural that 747 is. Yeah, 747s I think are the most natural lash of all time because they're round. They just look like lashes. Tamikins says, what state are you in? We're in Southern California. Someone said, I have light colored lashes, so that would be awesome to help my eyes pop. Yeah, you'll like these. And then what brush are you using to buff under her eyes? I'll link this one for you guys too. It's because it's kind of hard to find. So this is the It Cosmetics. It is the smoothing and buffing brush, and it might be listed as something different online. It might be called their concealing brush, but it's a dual end brush. So it has like a flat side to apply concealer on and then a buffing side. And I only use the buffing side. I keep the flat side tucked away in its little case, but I really love it. It's a great brush, so I'll link it. Because I think I linked it in my last video because I always use it and it took me a long time to find that exact brush. So I will link that brush. And this is MAC Spirit. This is just one of the magical nudes that looks so good. Like, you guys have probably seen me use it on so many people. It's really great for like medium skin tones, even light skin tones. And on dark skin tones, this would just be like even more nude. It would just appear lighter, but the tone of it, like, because it has like those nice undertones, it would still look great on dark skin tones as well. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them now so we can get to them before we show Ashley her makeup. Because she has no clue what we're doing. She was up for anything when she came.
Yeah.
She signed up for whatever. And this brush, this is a Monda Studio Brush. It's number 170. I have a couple different lip brushes I like, but this one works nicely. I really like how flat it is. And what I look for in my lip brushes, I like them to be so skinny. Like when you turn it to the side, I want it to be really, really, really flat. The only thing I don't like about this one, and it could have been how I stored it, is it has like little hairs splay to the side. I'll give it a little haircut. Like after I wash this one, I should probably trim those hairs off, because sometimes they'll pick up the product and they'll just like put it on a random piece of skin I didn't want it to, because it's not with the other part of the brush, and that's very sad. I'm gonna turn you towards me. You have a good lip shape. Are you a lipstick girl? You said chapstick. Usually. Okay.
I used to be gloss.
Nice.
I used to wear the MAC lip gloss.
Oh.
Or the lip glass.
Yes, that would stay for days.
Yes.
Not days, but for a long time.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. I still love MAC lip gloss. I think that was like the first makeup thing I ever bought.
Oh.
I bought like lip gloss and I loved it. They stay really well, actually.
They do, and they last a long time.
Yeah, they really do. That's why I liked it, because I had only bought like drugstore stuff, and drugstore has come a long way. Like you can probably get the equivalent of MAC lip gloss at the drugstore, but at the time, like nothing stayed on that well. Like I remember I put it on in the morning, like before school, and then I was like, oh, it's still there. Yeah, it lasted all 7 periods or whatever. Their clear one is amazing. Like for a while, that was the only lip gloss I kept in my kit, because you can mix it with lipstick and get just any color gloss you want. But MAC always discontinues what I love, though. It's very sad.
Like they keep going through it.
Yeah, yeah. Like there was like, because I only would use like 2 of the lip gloss shades and then the clear one, and one of them they discontinued, and it was so sad. Okay, so that is very pretty. I'm going to kind of stand in front of you and make it a little more even. And then I'm going to add like a lighter color. I'll show you guys how I like to do an ombre lip. Sometimes this Spirit, this shade, I think it's one of their cream sheen. They have a couple different lipstick formulas, Matte does. I kind of love their matte ones. This one might be a cream sheen, so it has like a reflective shine. It's very beautiful, but sometimes in these lights, it's hard for me to do lips under it, because the light will make it look like I didn't put makeup there when I did. We have lots of lights. We're just in one big like room of lights. I should show like the behind the scenes. Okay, so let's go into, this is Myth. This is an absolute nude. It's very light, by MAC as well. So we're just gonna go in and put that in the center. This is called like an ombre lip, so you're just giving the illusion of really full lips. Ashley has nice lips, but it's still fun to do this. So you just do it right in the middle, and then you diffuse it out, and it gives a really fun look. It's just more multi-dimensional. which is fun. And then let's do a little bit of gloss. So this one, this is Rimmel London. And this is called Blushing Belgraves, number 130. And this is fun. It has like a bit of sparkle in it, like almost like a light frost, but not that, but more like a glittery frost, not like the silvery. Like it doesn't look frosty when you put it on, but when you're looking at it on your little brush, it looks like it. But it's really, really pretty. This is a really great topper. I'm only putting it in the middle, but I love this for like any nudes. It's a mauve, so it has like a little bit of a pink, but it's really pretty. Okay, let's comb up her eyebrows, and then we'll play her before for you guys, and we'll show her. Oh, Cynthia says, wow, shame you can't go dancing or something after this. You look great.
I know.
I know, you look so pretty.
It's for my husband.
Yeah. Okay, so let's flash her before so you can see pre-brows, pre-concealing the eyelids, pre-everything. And then we will show Ashley the mirror. Okay, we good? All right, you ready?
Yep. Wow.
You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous.
Wow.
Your eyes are like
They
beautiful.
pop.
They pop. You have great eyes.
Wow, that looks great.
So pretty. Probably more than you're used to,
Yeah.
but it's very beautiful. You're very
It's more
glam.
natural than you think.
Yeah, for all that makeup, it's quite natural for the cream contouring and stuff like that. It's blending.
My students wouldn't even recognize me.
I know. It's kind of a bummer. You can FaceTime that or do your
Do my video
yeah,
chat.
you do that today. Yeah.
Oh,
I got
that's
a
great.
Tiny
Thank you so
bit.
much.
You're welcome. I got a tiny bit of foundation on your earring. Let me wipe that off. Pretty earring. Okay, all good. All right, thank you, Ashley, for being my model.
Thank
You were
you.
so much fun. And thank you guys for watching. We love those of you that join us in the chat, and we also love those that join for the replay. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.